We have a guest in the studio with us, joining us, Siti Muga, Eric Latif, and Nduoko. And the guest is the Honorable William KABOGO, party leader, Tujibebe WaKenya Party.
That is it.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very much indeed.
Uh-huh.
It's always a pleasure to come in here because this is the place to be.
Always good to have you in the studio with us and on the show. Tujibebe WaKenya Party.
Yes.
Introduce us to this party.
Tujibebe WaKenya Party, as the name says, we are responsible for who we will become. It's a political party that gears towards making Kenya a better place. And by Kenya, I mean the human, the Kenyan human. If you look at the days of Moi, that's like 20 years ago, guys were being paid 440 shillings a day. We're being paid 460 shillings a day, labor, today. Tujibebe WaKenya Party is fighting for 1,000 shillings minimum. Tujibebe Kenya Party is a party of the future to fight corruption. The bull that is very annoyed, if you look at the bull, our logo, is not KABOGO. It's not buffalo. It is the buffalo that will fight corruption in public service. Because if we can save the 2 billion shillings that Uhuru says we lose every day, that money is enough to give us free Medicare. It's enough to give us free primary education, free secondary education, and free university education. That is what Tujibebe Party is all about. And it is a party that I started to give it to Kenyans. Sio ile wanasema vyama viko na wenyewe. Hii ni ya Wakenya. Ni wapatie. As long as it, you know, democracy is about numbers. It's about the many, majority getting their way and minority being heard. I'm hoping that, you know, I've suffered nominations myself. 2002, I was kicked out by KANU. I went to a small party, Sisi kwa Sisi, I downed them. 2007, they did the same thing to me. We had a by-election again in 2010, nominations again, 2013, nominations and finals. Every time I had to go for 2 elections. So I don't know why I had to wait 20 years.
To form your own party.
To form my own
which
party.
Cannot kick you out.
But this is a party now that people should be watching. Well, right now they are talking about 2-horse race. We don't have a presidential candidate because I wanted to vie for presidency. But you will find people are saying, no, it's a little too late. KABOGO, wait a little bit. I don't know why they think we should wait. And I want to remind you, 2002, Kibaki was nowhere in June. He was not a candidate. We were thinking about the Moi candidate, the project, Uhuru, and Tinga. But
those were in the same camp.
When Tinga saw things were going thick, he decided Kibaki tosha, and that is where Kibaki became president. Right. October 14, I think, 2002, 2 months to elections.
So it's not too late.
And I want to tell Kenyans, it is never too late. And unfortunately, we Kenyans, we just want to recycle garbage. I don't want to say more.
So who is this who told you it's late? Don't.
No, people, you know, you'll go out there and they'll tell you, sasa wewe umekuja kuchelewa, ungetangaza kitambo, sasa tuko upande wa UDA. We've got UDA, we've got the project, which is the project now, Azimio.
So where does this all fit into the One Kenya Alliance? Because we saw you then also quite vigorously
One
the
Kenya
other day.
Alliance and Mount Kenya Unity Forum, which I am a founder member, are looking at the Kenya we want, the Kenya we would want, giving hope to Kenya that there may be a third force, a sober third force. But as it stands now, we still are struggling with how to bring together a major third force. Of course, at some point, if we cannot become a third force, we should be able to negotiate with those that are able to negotiate with us to bring the dream of a good Kenya. Because we are where we were 2002, maybe worse. If you look at the things that are happening, especially Eldoret the other day, is scaring to think about where this country would go with this sort of leadership. Because the name they used, which I do not want to repeat, it was there in The Hague. You had them speak about it. This is how they started to chase people from certain places of the Republic. 60 years now, almost, after independence, we are still talking about tribal inclination in terms of politics. When is it that we will move away from that and enjoy the protection given to us by our Katiba, that as a Kenyan, you can live and work anywhere in Kenya? I appreciate, I have seen on social media the Honorable Deputy President apologizing or saying that Linturi did apologize for that language. But that's a little too late. Because those words should never have come from a seasoned politician. And
They shouldn't come from anybody.
well, if it's a toddler in politics, you can sleep and say you didn't know these things. But Linturi, I don't want to speak about Linturi, the man, but it's very unfortunate.
So you say the Mount Kenya Forum,
Yes.
which comprises parties such as yours, Tujibebe WaKenya Party, there's NARC Kenya of Martha Karua, there's Chama cha Kazi
There's
of Moses
DP,
Kuria, there's the Democratic Party
Justice Muthui.
of the
Justin Muturi, sorry.
Justin Muturi, the
Yes.
Speaker. That's one side. So why are you going to One Kenya Alliance? One Kenya Alliance have already said they are going to be on the ballot. They are not negotiating with anybody.
Well, they may say so. Being on the ballot and moving together to the ballot are two different things. The Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, if he wants to go to the ballot on his own, he'll be wasting time. A very sober leader. But we always say, you must have a base. All politics is local. So if you do not have a base and you want to be president, it's a tall order. But we want to persuade Kenyans that there could be an alternative to the two very extreme that I have tried to associate myself with, and I'm not able for one reason or the other. And I'm one guy who does not mince my words in terms of what I believe. I look at the Honorable William Ruto and I say, he doesn't want to speak to anyone. He's got it. He wants to go it alone.
Nothing about coalitions with
No, he wants. He came to Mount Kenya the other day and said, "If you want to vie, you need to speak to him." With such arrogance. And I'm saying, so he doesn't want to speak to anyone. So that's a no, unless he changes his mind.
Right.
As a mayor, they want to speak. They want to speak to parties, but who's holding the hidden card in as mayor? Is Tinga himself, the man, or is Tinga a project, or is Tinga being driven? And who is he speaking to? Politics being local, we want someone who guarantees us our wishes as a mountain. How will we get the unemployed to get to do some work?
There's something that you've said there, even before you go further.
Yes.
KABOGO, you are not, like you said, a novice in politics.
Correct.
All right?
Yes.
You have played this game for a while.
20 years
What
now.
do you mean when you ask whether Raila is a project or whether he's speaking for himself? Whether there are other shadowy
you
figures
cannot run
behind.
away from the fact that Tinga is now Uhuru's candidate. You cannot run away from that. If you're a seasoned politician, you should see it. The other day at the birthday party, I'm told he said hello to the fifth. So you don't need more signals. you understand. We respect Uhuru as our leader, as our national leader, the president, also our leader in the mountain. But be that as it may, his term is coming to an end. There is nothing he will do on the 11th or 12th year that he has not done in the 9 and 10 years that he will have by July. So I expect him to
Exit quietly.
just like Kibaki, just like Moi did. So if Bwana Tinga is discussing future succession, He should be discussing with the future. Not,
Who is the future? It's interesting.
we
what
are
you
the
say.
future.
A
We are
few-
the
a
Tujibebe.
future.
few minutes ago, you said that we are recycling garbage politically.
Well, I didn't want to sound garbage, but you know what it is.
So if we're doing that, going through the political process, recycling garbage, and we are saying that the future is here, so who is
Let me
who?
say, let me retract and say
Okay.
we are not recycling garbage.
Okay.
But we seem to want to recycle the same old stuff. And I say this with a lot of respect to the leadership of several parties. But tell me, when is it that we're going to sit and give a marking scheme, marking card for these leaders that we want to recycle? A good example is all these guys who are vying for the presidency or to be president of the Republic of Kenya have been ministers. Some of them for 30 years. A good example, my friend Kalonzo Musyoka has been a minister for close to 30 years. Even vice president. Musalia Mudavadi. You understand? Been a minister all those years, DPM and vice president. William Ruto from 1992 or 1997, minister, deputy president. Forget Uhuru because he's now president, he has to leave. When is it we will look at them and say, when so-and-so was in this ministry, he did so well that if he gets a chance to be president, we know we're in safe hands. When will we fill that card? And who will do it? Because it comes to 5 years and they start, like now, today, the talk, if you look at the newspaper, very good pictures of very big crowds. But what are they telling them? When we come in August, tutawaletea serikali itakuwa ya Baba Mboga. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Selling hope.
Hope. Why haven't you done it in the last 20 years?
See, handshake took over.
So I'm saying handshake took over when? Just recent. All those years as minister, all those years as DP. What is this miracle that will happen now
that didn't happen before.
that you couldn't do in 20 years? You should be able to say, when I was minister, I tried to do this, but I could not. When I was DP, I was stopped by this handshake to do ABCD. This is just talk for elections. When you come to a rally like this one of Eldoret, and you tell people, and you have MPs, and they sit there and say loudly, tukikuja mwezi wa 8, bei ya maisha itapungua.
How?
And they're sitting
And
MPs.
they are in parliament.
Sitting MPs.
They are in parliament today.
Yes.
Today they are fighting over some bill for political deals. But none of them is fighting to lower the prices of standard of living.
No, they never do.
Then one tells us you will get 6,000 every family. Persuade your brother now so that this 6,000 can go to the villages today. You understand what I'm saying? But they're telling us, like August, some miracle is going to happen. My friend, I want to tell Kenyans, you'll be in for a rude shock.
What are you saying? Are you saying
Wale.
that it will not happen?
It will not happen.
So you're saying that these promises, because we've been asking the question, and I have to ask you here, somebody who's in these circles, William, that, so you're saying essentially that these things will not happen.
So
and the
when you
promises
tell
that are
Mama
being
Mboga-
made
when you
over and
tell
over
Mama
again
Mboga, wait,
is just
put your kiosk
a
ready.
lie.
We're going to bring in money for you to do this business.
So it's a
How?
lie. Are you saying these are lies?
It is a lie. It's political lies.
So as the
Let me
alternative
ask you.
voice,
Let me prove to you that these things don't happen the way they're saying it now. Do you remember when they finished their first term? Yeah, I think it was in KICC. Very organized stage
Launch
for the
political campaign for the
rebranding
election.
for the new term.
Yes.
The stadia in 2 months, so and so it shall be ready. Do you remember this story?
Yes. In
Why
6
are we
months'
not
time.
questioning? Why are we not asking? It is the same promises they gave us. When are we going to fill in the scorecard of Jubilee? And when did Jubilee become 2 different Jubilees? Because they are different now. If it is good,
Why fix it?
it's okay. But if it didn't happen, it was because of the
Because
handshake.
they're the guys.
If there's something good that has been done by Jubilee, it is both Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. If they have failed together. They have failed together.
So you're presenting yourselves as the alternative,
Correct.
right? As the third force.
Yes, a force that is sober.
Uh-huh.
And also, even if we were
So
to
let's
link
use the
with
same
either
questions.
of the two, would bring soberness.
Let's use the same questions.
Yes.
What is it, and when can we sit back and look at you as, William KABOGO, as NAK Kenya, as Moses Kuria, and say, when they had the opportunity, this is what they did, and the promise that they're giving us is this.
I won't be able to speak for
speak
the
about
likes
KABOGO.
of Moses Kuria, but I'll speak for myself. When I was in Kiambu, you saw what I did. My card is great. Best healthcare scheme and program in the Republic. Some of these things, even Uhuru himself stopped me from doing because I was moving faster than they
Than the
were
national
moving.
As a national government.
Yes, we wanted to do link roads to link all our sub-counties. And this I negotiated with the Japanese company for them to finance, make road tolls. They collect road tolls and we share. County government of Kiambu and the Japanese company. And it was approved. But they told us, now, KABOGO, if you do this, and Thika Road is not yet started, the toll, you will be messing. I said, fine, so how much time do you need? Then I said, can we get a guarantee from the National Treasury, not in terms of money guarantee, letter of comfort. We negotiated with a hospital in India to do a major hospital in Kiambu by moving the hospital in Kiambu town to another location. And this company in India was going to build everything, 2.9 billion. All we wanted is a letter again from Henry to say, we know that this county receives money every year to this tune they will be able to pay. But my intention was not to pay with money from Treasury. My intention was to release the land in Kiambu town, 100 million per quarter, and start developing Kiambu to another city. Again, I couldn't get the letter from Treasury. If I have a chance, these are the things we will do. Then remember, I have nothing, no tag of corruption. So if we have 7 KABOGOs in the name of Oka, Mount Kenya Alliance, Kenya will go places. But most of the times in the African context, these guys never get chances. Because politics is about putting numbers together, shouting,
up
and making
emotion.
sure that you get elected, whichever one way.
Mheshimiwa KABOGO, one of the things that politics around the world and Kenya has taught us is that there has to be an element of consensus building.
True.
When one wants to vie for a position such as the one you vied for as governor and got it, there's consensus building. You agree with people. Now, if you move it further up a notch higher to the national level, there's even a greater consensus building.
Correct.
Now, you keep distinguishing yourself as somebody who has an opinion that you will not shy away from uttering.
But we are trying to form consensus where we are, right or wrong.
I am actually supporting your view.
Yes.
Question?
I actually like your view. The question is this. Given our politics and how our people like to hear things that they want to hear, does the position you take endear you to fellow politicians in
It
consensus
really doesn't.
building?
I would say twice. One, it may not. But the politics that we have here today, I was in church just here, Redeem, next door, this Sunday with Musalia and others. And when we finished church, as I was leaving, a gang of young men jumped in front of the car and held the car to stop it from moving. And I'm like, what? And they're holding it. And they really, the car is still moving. I told the driver, you can't stop. And they were pushed until they moved. Then they all jumped onto the car.
Okay.
What are they asking for?
What did they want you to do?
Money.
for them?
This is the politics that we, those of us who are leaders and others are politicians, these are the politics we have introduced to the country. And why are elections in Kenya and in Africa so emotive? Why is it that the other day there was elections in Germany? Did you notice? Some of us didn't even know.
It came and went.
Yes. You go to London, you sit there, you see Tony Blair on a bike coming to have a cup of coffee. Nobody bothers him. But the politics we introduced here, the Sonko politics we introduced in Nairobi and in Kenya and in Africa in general, is about dishing money to buy the seat. And why is it so emotive? It is because they are not fighting to go and lead. They are not fighting. The competition here is not to go and lead. It is a competition to go and eat. It is our time to eat. This is what they are fighting for. And that is why it's so emotional. And that is why it is do or die. This thing is not about leadership.
Honorable KABOGO,
It's about who will usurp how much wealth, how much power. This is what we are suffering from in Africa. I don't know when we will get out of this situation.
We understand you're due to go for an interview with our sister station, Vibes, from 8 to 9.
Yes.
As you leave us, are you going, yes or no, to vie for governor of Kiambu?
Why do you want to make life easy for very many people? And make it so
One of them is
difficult
Becky,
and make it so difficult for some people. I want to keep that card close to my heart. I am a servant. I can serve anywhere. I've been asked to serve, come serve Nairobi. I've been told you will become deputy president of so and so.
So you're keeping your options open.
I'm leaving it open. But at the back of my mind, I got some work that needs to be completed in Kiambu.
Okay.
Some work needs to be done.
Okay.
So I must find some synergy on how to deal with those things.
So you and Kiambu are like Uhuru and BBI. It's a project.
I'm not sure where Uhuru and BBI.
It is a project which will be completed in due
BBI
time.
was good and bad. Good in the sense that it was going to give us those of us who believe in money follows.
We'll discuss it next time. Thank you very much, William.
When I come next, we shall discuss.
Asante.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.